Hello?
Hey, Mom.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm struggling a little bit. Now that I'm 18 and I get a vote in this year's election, I'm a little lost. There seems to be a lot of information everywhere. How do I know which one to trust?
Well, you're right. There's a lot of information out there. And it's good that you're questioning what you're seeing because there's a lot of incorrect, misleading, and misrepresentation of information out there, especially on social media. So where do you go? Well, we go to the Arizona State Secretary's Office website, azsos.gov. Or we also go to arizona.vote, the site they've set up just for election information here in Arizona. Here you'll be able to find all the important information you need for the state's upcoming elections, including secure links where you can register to vote, verify your voter registration, and even now sign up for alerts on your early mail-in ballots.
Well, the website is good, and tracking my early mail-in ballot is great. What if I forget to visit the website regularly?
Follow their socials. They provide links to them on azsos.gov.
Sounds good. I'll start following them now. Thanks, Mom.
So visit us at arizona.vote for your 2024 election information, and visit us at azsos.gov to see what your Arizona Secretary of State's office is doing for you.
Have you heard that I'm collaborating with Beyonce and Taylor Swift on a country album? Well, guess what? It's not true, but sharing information has never been easier. Are you taking the time before you repost and hit like to be sure that the information you're sharing is from a credible source? Have you fact-checked it to make sure it's true? Because after all, we know this. Just because it's on the internet, it is not always true. So please join me, take the pledge to not spread misinformation and to use social media responsibly.
Picture this. You're scrolling through your social media feed, and suddenly you come across a post claiming that voting hours have changed. That doesn't seem quite right. But how do you know? Let's face it, there's a lot of confusing, biased, or misleading information about elections out there. We're here to help you navigate the sea of information and make sure you're getting your facts from trusted sources. Let's hear from some key voices in Idaho about why relying on trusted information is crucial for upcoming elections.
Phil McGrain, Secretary of State for the great state of Idaho. There's so much information out all across the internet and everywhere else that sometimes things that are put out there just aren't correct. It could be intentional or unintentional, it doesn't matter.
I'm U.S. Senator Jim Risch. With so many sources vying for our attention, it is easy for inaccurate information to spread. As we get closer, be on the lookout for exaggerated headlines, false claims, or unfamiliar sources.
Meet Christina Glasscock, clerk for Twin Falls County.
It is so important that you are getting your information from a trusted source.
What are those sources of trusted information?
Your Secretary of State, your county clerk, are the ones that you need to be asking those questions to.
This is Patty Weeks, clerk for Nez Perce County. She agrees.
Government sources such as the Secretary of State's office, your county election offices, established news sources, those are good places to turn to.
One easy trick? Official government websites usually end in .gov. Check for that .gov or verify that it is an official local government website.
Look at the source, where you're getting your information. Look at who printed the paid for by that's printed on any mailing that you receive.
What are some telltale signs you're looking at misleading information?
A great example is recently my daughter got a text asking her to pay some additional postage on something, and she almost wanted to go through and do it. But the United States Postal Service doesn't use some obscure website. They use USPS.gov. And I got to have this conversation with her just to really highlight, as in this complex world, we need to check this information. And I think it's particularly true in the political environment we live in as it relates to elections. Unfortunately, we see lots of campaign tactics that are trying to get people to vote or to not vote, pushing information.
Information from official government sources will be unbiased and nonpartisan, never promoting or disparaging a party, candidate, or ballot measure.
Voters are getting bombarded by special interest groups or single topics or candidates or political parties. And it's important not to share misinformation and to critically look at the information that you receive.
Trust. It's fundamental to elections in Idaho.
It's vital to trust the election process. If voters don't trust it, then they're not going to participate.
Elections are fundamentally built on trust. If people don't have confidence in the elections, confidence in the officials and the processes, then they won't have confidence in the officials who are elected by those processes. That's just the simple idea of a republic. We elect these people so that they can represent us at the various levels of government, and being able to trust the process in which they're selected and that it accurately reflects the will of the community is so crucial.
And whether you're scrolling social media or looking at a political mailer, it's important to
Remember the gut test. If it feels wrong, look into it.
We want people to vote, we want people to show up, and if there's ever any doubt, going to Vote Idaho, contacting the Secretary of State's office, contacting your local elections office are all great ways to verify the information that's out there.
Our voters in Idaho, they're very smart and they'll do fine. They just need to double check the sources and go to trusted sources.
Our election must be free and fair. That takes all of us.
remember, your vote matters. Seek information from trusted sources to make informed decisions. Visit voteidaho.gov for reliable election information. And vote Idaho.
Diego Morales here, Indiana 63rd Secretary of State. Welcome to the great Hoosier State. As we head into a big election this November, it is more important than ever that eligible voters are receiving trusted info in 2024. It's more than a hashtag, it's a responsibility. Here in Indiana, we are trusted with a few things. Trust us, we produce the best crops. Popcorn is even our official state snack, but there is a lot more than corn here in Indiana. You can trust that basketball is a big deal here. In 49 other states, it's just basketball. But this is Indiana. The legacy of great Indiana basketball will continue to live on. Not through me, but we just landed a superstar to take care of that. When you visit Indiana, trust that you experience Hoosier hospitality. No one leaves without getting the red carpet rolled out for them. We are trusted every year to host the largest one-day sporting event in the world. The greatest spectacle in racing is right here in Indianapolis. Trust me, if you haven't been, add it to your bucket list. Most importantly, here in Indiana, we are trusted to hold safe and secure elections. It's what Hoosiers expect and deserve. During my time as Secretary of State, I have passed strong legislation which expands Indiana's voter ID law and legislation that will help ensure the eligibility of voters through proof of citizenship, residency, and enhancing Indiana's ban on the private funding of elections. To ensure another level of voter confidence, in Indiana we have paper audit trails. I have also distributed $2 million in grants to almost 70 counties for election security and improvement. Launched a campaign to help educate local, state, and federal partners on election safety and security. and coordinated legislation that will help provide legal protections to election workers. To keep up with the work my office is doing, be sure to visit our website, sos.in.gov, as well as follow our social media accounts at SOS Diego Morales on Instagram, X, and Facebook. So, as you can see, Indiana is trusted with a lot of things from sports to crops. Make no mistake, the most important is our elections. As Indiana's Chief Election Officer, you can trust I'm working hard to keep Indiana's elections safe and secure for all Hoosiers.
When it comes to doing the right thing, fighting the right battles, or making your community a better place, we typically think of these guys right here, the superheroes. In reality, superheroes wear many uniforms. Our real-world superheroes are police officers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, teachers, and election workers. Local election workers and poll workers are critically important to protecting your vote. They work long hours both on election day and the days leading up to the following elections. They work elections because they want to protect the integrity of the vote for their friends and neighbors. Poll workers are also part of our election, a team of trusted sources that ensure Iowans have the facts when it comes to voting. When you make a plan to vote in the next election, you may come up with a few questions, ranging from where's my polling place to deeper questions like how do I know elections in Iowa are secure? My office takes pride in making sure Iowans have all the tools to making voting safe, secure, and fair. We want to make sure Iowans remain diligent about searching for trusted info around election information. There are some supervillains out there, bad actors, who spread misinformation around elections. You can spot misinformation and stop it in its tracks by turning to trusted sources for information on Iowa elections. I'm urging Iowans to turn to the Iowa Secretary of State's office, your local county auditor's office, and election heroes in your neighborhood as your trusted source this election season. Becoming a trusted source is all about laying the groundwork. Election officials work year-round to share trusted facts about the elections. Visit us at sos.iowa.gov or on your social media channels at any time to learn about your #TrustedInfo2024 campaign and what election officials are doing statewide to ensure the integrity of your vote. Iowans can rest assured that we are working around the clock to guarantee safe and secure elections in our state down to each ballot. Poll workers across the state are the real heroes of our elections. They are your neighbors, your classmates, your coworkers. They're in your congregation, your book clubs, your community. People like Nicholas, Chuck, Katie, Marco, and Suzanne are the real election superstars. The best thing that you can do to prepare on election day is to make a plan. Whether you plan to vote early absentee in person, absentee by mail, or in person at the polls, making a plan ensures your success. Register to vote, check your voter registration status, find your polling place, and confirm what you need to bring on election day at voterready.iowa.gov. Here's what you need to know. Like I said, poll workers are our real superheroes. You can be a superhero too by being a voter.
Welcome back to a special edition of From the Vault. In this episode, we're going to discuss Trusted Info 2024. This video series is an ongoing effort by the office to inform Kansans about the Secretary of State's office, its responsibilities, and anything of relevancies to the agency.
Today we decided to take a different approach to this episode. We want to do a little role-playing with questions and answers recently received from Kansans.
Our theme today is trusted information, where you can find it and why you should use it. Well, Thomas, you think we should start?
Well, as the autumn leaves said to the Kansas wind, let's go.
How poetic.
Well, it looks like our first call is coming in. Hit that.
Is this the state secretary?
Yes, this is the Secretary of State's office. What's your question?
Miles here, long-time voter and new caller. Well, I read a text that said the election was canceled and move up today, so I'm in a building right now waiting.
What text are you talking about, sir?
I got it last week. It said the polling place was closing and the new location was to come here in this building area. It sounded right, but I don't see election anywhere.
So, Miles, we encourage voters to trust only information from reliable sources. The Secretary of State's office does not communicate via text.
So, I take it there is no election today?
You are correct.
How do I not find myself in a random building for the real election then?
Stay in loop by following the agency's verified social media accounts. Make sure the account has the check mark next to the name. We're active on our website and all the various platforms with the public on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm on my phone now looking you up as we speak. Thanks so much.
Not a problem. We're glad we were able to help you clear all this information up. And thanks for calling our office.
Hello, this is Secretary of State's office.
This is Granny Annie from Orchard Ridge. My mailbox has been going crazy. I keep getting these ballots in the mail and I just don't know what to do. I know I'm popular with my grandkids, but it's coming from people I don't even know.
Could you read me what it says on one of those mailings at the top?
It says advance mail ballot application. I'm happy to fill out all 17, but...
So applications aren't ballots. You only fill out one of them because you'll get only one ballot if your application is approved.
Okay. I do want to vote. One of my son's friends is running for county commission. He's so polite.
Yes, fill out that mail ballot application and your ballot will arrive in the mail.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happy to help. If you ever have any more questions, just go straight to the source and call us.
What's that smell? Oh no, my lasagna.
It did smell good from here.
We have time for one more question. Hello, this is Secretary of State's office. What's your question for us today?
This is Larry. Not so much a question. I don't think I'm going to vote this year.
You're not going to vote? Why not, sir?
It's not going to make a difference. I don't think it's even counted.
Trust me, it counts. Kansas statutes require that all legal ballots be counted. Also on our website, votekansas.gov, the .gov designates trusted information, we have a tool called Voter View, where you can see your voting history. Now, this information will be updated sometime after the election cycle, and rest assured, your vote does count.
Oh, well, I'll look her up. Sometimes I feel that voting is hard at times. There's information overload wherever I look, and it's not helpful.
It's quite hectic with the volume of information that's out there this time of year. But voting is simple. In Kansas, we have 3 ways to vote: by mail, by in-person voting on Election Day, and advanced in-person voting. Kansas balances the ease of voting with a safe and secure process.
Now that makes a lot of sense. The options allow for planning ahead if I'm going to be busy that day.
Contact your local county election office and they can provide you with more details on that.
Exactly, sir. And as election officials, it's our duty to be honest and to be serious when informing our constituents.
Yes, indeed. What was that website again?
Votekansas.gov.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, sir.
Well, that wraps up our Q&A for today.
We appreciate the question. And as always, when you have a concern about the election process, please contact our office at votekansas.gov or your local county election office. These are the trusted sources you can always rely on.
We see each other at the grocery store.
We go to church together.
We're your neighbors. We're your friends.
We are Louisiana election workers.
Voting is a very important process, one that people have wanted to do, died to do, in order to take part in elections.
Election workers are important because we are the face of the election, and we want the public to trust and know that they're coming into our office or into a precinct and seeing a familiar face and seeing someone that they can trust.
Our poll workers, our election commissioners, and our staff is the front line to that interfaces with the voters on election day.
We are the face of the election, and we want to make sure that when our voters come and vote, that they trust the person behind the counter and they trust the person that got them to this point.
We have a high standard for poll workers and election workers. We have to be neutral. We have to maintain a high standard that the public has trust in what we do. The public has trust that their vote counts exactly the way they present it.
So if a citizen has a misunderstanding about something that's going on with elections, don't go to the news media, don't go to your brother John, go to the officials who understand the process and who can explain the process.
Louisiana's election workers go above and beyond to keep our elections safe and secure. Unfortunately, there are those who spread rumors, conspiracies, and falsehoods about our elections and how they work. They diminish the hard work that thousands of election workers across our state do each day.
Visit GEAUXVote.com for your reliable information.
Download the free Go Vote mobile app to find out the facts about elections in Louisiana.
Follow the Secretary of State or your local election official on social media for credible details about how we keep elections safe and secure.
Turn to us for your trusted info, and remember to go vote, Louisiana.
I'm Michael Stolberger, Director of Elections for Blue Earth County, Minnesota.
I'm Carrie Anderson from Sherburne County. I'm Marilee Peterson, the Auditor-Treasurer for Sibley County.
I'm Matt Masakura, Election Systems Manager of Dakota County.
I'm Gwen Clavin-Olson, Deputy Election Coordinator for Chippewa County.
I'm Julie Hanson, Property and Customer Service Manager of Scott County.
I'm John Blevins. I'm an Information Specialist in Elections for St. Louis County, reminding you all that elections are local.
Elections are local.
And that your vote counts.
Your vote counts.
Learn more about how to vote,
where to vote,
how your vote will be counted, and more
at mnvotes.gov.
Are you prepared to be a New Jersey voter in 2024? No matter how you answer that question, we want you to know where to find trusted info about our elections this year. It's important that we all know the facts about how our elections work and how we can securely cast our vote. Let's start with me. I'm Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way, and I also serve as New Jersey's Secretary of State, and my department includes the State Division of Elections, which makes me our state's chief election official. We work with our county election officials, some of whom are here with me today.
And we oversee the Board of Elections, and that responsibilities include the selection of our early voting and all of our polling locations. We oversee the 24-hour secure drop box locations. We also oversee the selections of all of our board workers and the training. And we also oversee the Accessibility Act. And we also receive, count, and certify all mail-in ballots and paper ballots.
As the Superintendent of Elections, I am the custodian of and secure all the voting machines, and also I am the Commissioner of Registration.
As the county clerk, my office collects all of the petitions for the county offices and for the school board and fire district elections. We also design and print the ballots, and we also issue all of the vote by mail ballots that go out through our county. We maintain candidate lists, and we also are responsible for counting the machine ballots on election day. And lastly, we certify the election.
Together, we also work with state security and law enforcement colleagues and federal partners like the FBI and Department of Homeland Security to administer free and fair elections here in New Jersey and ensure that every eligible voter is able to vote. You can count on us, my Division of Elections, and your county election officials for timely, accurate information about how our elections work and how you can participate. We are your sources for trusted info. At vote.nj.gov, the state's voter information hub, you can find everything you need to know to be a New Jersey voter. Follow me and the Division of Elections on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and help us share accurate information about our elections.
Follow your local election officials on social media.
And of course, think before you link. If the information isn't from a trusted source, check before sharing, whether on the internet or in conversation.
We cannot completely prevent incorrect information about our elections, but we can be vigilant about only sharing what we know to be true and taking time to check with our trusted sources.
Democracy is a team sport, so let's work together to help all New Jersey voters stay informed by sharing our content and using the Trusted Info 2024 hashtag. We know we can count on you. Now let's get to work.
Hi, I'm Michael Howe, North Dakota Secretary of State. As Secretary of State, I oversee the election process, which includes the security of elections and voting, as well as providing support for local election officials. 2024 is a big year, and our team is working hard to prepare to serve the voters of our state. You may have some questions about our elections. Maybe you're wondering where your polling place is, or you saw something on social media that didn't seem quite right. Perhaps you just want to learn more about the process. Whatever you are curious about, we are here to help and are your source for trusted election information. The North Dakota Secretary of State's office is a resource for both election officials and citizens. By getting election information straight from my office or your local election official, you'll receive answers you know you can trust. If you have questions, visit our website, vote.nd.gov. Also, follow us on social media for helpful guidance, reminders, and resources. I want you to know I'm very confident in our elections, and the citizens of North Dakota can be too. Hi, I'm North Dakota Secretary of State Michael Howe, and I want to share with you trusted information about primary election ballots. The front of your primary election ballot will list the partisan contests. These contests include federal, legislative, and statewide races. In North Dakota, we're familiar with the Republican and Democratic parties. If other parties gain ballot access, their candidates will also appear on the primary ballot. In North Dakota primary elections, you may only vote for one political party. This means the entire front of your ballot must be voted along party lines. The primary election determines which candidates receive their party's nomination and who will move on to the general election. If you vote for candidates in different political parties, this is called a crossover vote. You will be alerted when inserting your ballot into the ballot tabulator. If this happens, you can cast your ballot as is or request a new one. If you choose to cast a crossover ballot, the races on the front will not be counted. However, any nonpartisan contests on the back of the ballot will still count. The back of your ballot may include judicial, county, and city races, as well as ballot measures. Judicial and county contests move forward to the general election. City and school contests are final in the primary. This means that the primary elections are very important as they determine who will lead and serve you at the local level. If you have questions, reach out to my office or your local election officials. We are your trusted source for election information. Hi, I'm North Dakota Secretary of State Michael Howe, and I want to share with you trusted information about returning an absentee ballot. You are never mailed a ballot without first requesting one. In vote-by-mail counties, voting age residents are mailed an absentee ballot application by their county auditor. In all other counties, a voter must request one. If you choose to vote absentee, fill out your absentee ballot application. Provide your North Dakota identification number, date of birth, and then sign and date the form and return it to your county. After your identification is verified, you will be mailed an absentee ballot package. Make your selections on the enclosed ballot, place in the envelope provided, and sign the envelope where indicated. Nobody else should sign for you. You have 3 ways you can return your absentee ballot. You can hand deliver your ballot to your county auditor. You can place your ballot in a secure drop box if one is offered by your county, or mail it via the U.S. Postal Service. You will be responsible for any needed postage. All absentee ballots must be postmarked or delivered by 5 p.m. to your county before Election Day. North Dakota's voter database ensures each voter can only vote once. If you return your absentee ballot and still show up at the polls, your voter record will show you have already cast your vote and you will not be allowed to vote again in that election. If you have questions, reach out to my office or your local election officials. We are your trusted source for election information.
Wait, look out! We got you.
Hi, I'm Vermont Secretary of State Sarah Copeland-Hansis. It can be hard weeding through all the misinformation and disinformation out there. That's where my office comes in. My office is your one-stop shop for trusted information this election season. Go to our website and follow us on social media to stay up to date with all the information you need as you prepare to cast your ballot in August and November. Here's something we've taken a lot of care to grow for you. The My Voter page. Here you can find your polling place, request and track an absentee ballot for the August primary, and find your voter guide for the November general election, which will explain all the offices that are up for election and who's running for them. For information you can trust this election season, go straight to the source, the Vermont Secretary of State's office.
Hi, I'm West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner. West Virginia voters deserve a source they can trust for important election updates and unofficial results on election night. That is why my office is teaming up with the National Association of Secretaries of State to promote the Trusted Info 2024 campaign that seeks to combat mis- and disinformation by promoting state and local election officials as the definitive source for election information in their state. I'm calling on all West Virginians to follow the West Virginia Secretary of State's office on all social media platforms using the information provided at the bottom of this screen. You can also sign up for our email updates by visiting our homepage at wvsos.gov. And don't forget to bookmark our dedicated elections website, govotewv.com, for easy access to online voter tools, including our online voter registration. Know your trusted sources, West Virginia.